They think the night is theirs. The shadows, the silence, the creeping fear. Oh, they revel in it, don't they? But here's the joke. They forgot one tiny, terrifying detail. Monsters don't fear the dark. No, nah, we thrive in it. Every whisper, every shadow, every shiver crawling up their spines. That's our playground. They think they're hunting, but darling, it's them who are trapped in the game. And tonight, the monsters wake. Darkness isn't a threat. Oh no, it's so much more than that. Darkness is the stage, the playground, the theater where the real game begins. While everyone else trembles at the thought of shadows creeping along the walls, monsters lean into it. They embrace it. They thrive on it. You see, they don't understand that the dark isn't something you endure. It's something you command. They think fear is a weapon, a cage, a limitation. But for the monster, fear is a compass, a guide, a whisper that tells you exactly where to strike. Every corner they avoid, every alley they ignore, every shadow they refuse to glance into, that's where you grow stronger, sharper, hungrier. They want the night to protect them, to hide them, to lull them into false confidence. How sweet, how deliciously naive of them. Because the monster doesn't need the light. The monster doesn't seek validation from what's visible, what's expected, what's safe. The monster dances where they wouldn't dare step, laughs where they would scream, and watches while their world collapses under the weight of their own ignorance. Darkness becomes not a cloak, but a crown, heavy with the power that only those unafraid of the unseen can wield. And oh, they fear it, the humans, the weak, the blind. They shiver at the edges of their own comfort, at the border of everything they think they control. While you, the monster, move freely, untethered, unstoppable. Every shadow becomes a mirror reflecting what they cannot face. Every quiet moment a symphony of opportunity. Every heartbeat a drum counting down to the moment you rise. They think survival is about hiding, about blending, about playing by the rules that protect the knave, the timid, the scared. But survival, real survival, is about owning what they flee from. When the lights go out, the true game begins. The darkness whispers secrets that only monsters can hear. It tells you where weakness hides, where hesitation lingers, where fear festers like rot in their bones. They think the dark belongs to them because they rule the visible, the predictable, the light-filled world, but they don't see that the real power lives in the unseen, in the unclaimed, in the places they fear to walk. And that is where monsters are born, where monsters grow, where monsters rule. Every step into the black is a declaration. Every glance into the abyss a promise. Every silent motion a warning. The darkness isn't empty. It's alive, it breathes, it feeds, and it has chosen you as its champion. While they panic, while they squirm, while they whisper to themselves in trembling voices, you are smiling because you know something they will never understand. The dark isn't dangerous. Not to you. Not when you are the danger. And when the world tries to force you into the light, to make you visible, to make you predictable, you resist, you revel, you become untouchable, because the shadows don't bind you, they empower you. They carry you beyond their comprehension, beyond their expectation, beyond the limits they have drawn so carefully around themselves. Every shadowed corner is a lesson, every silent street a training ground, every heartbeat in the quiet a reminder that the world belongs not to those who hide from fear, but to those who dance inside it, who move with it, who laugh at the trembling fools, who cannot even imagine what it means to thrive without light, to command the dark, to make it yours, to wear it like armor, to whisper in the ears of those who think they are safe, that the monsters are awake. And they've been here all along, smiling behind the curtain, waiting for the moment when their ignorance becomes their downfall. Fear is for the weak, they say, and oh, how true that is. Fear is the leash, the chain, the invisible hand that keeps the knaves scrambling, tripping over their own hesitation, while monsters move with grace, with purpose, with precision. They tremble at shadows, flinch at whispers, panic at the slightest hint of the unknown, and you smile, because you know that fear is not a trap, it is a tool. Every shiver in their spine, every racing heartbeat, every desperate glance over their shoulder is a gift, a map to their weakness, a window into the cracks they try to hide. While they bury their terror under polite words and trembling smiles, the monster studies it, absorbs it, savors it like a fine wine aged in the barrels of their ignorance. They fear the dark, the unknown, the uncontrollable. But monsters do not. Monsters drink from it, bathe in it, let it flow through their veins like electricity, charging them with a power they will never understand. Every panic, every hesitation, every instinct they call survival, you call opportunity. They try to tell themselves they are safe, that they are prepared, that they have shields and weapons and rules to protect them. But they are wrong, so beautifully wrong. Their fear is predictable, it is measurable, it is deliciously obvious, and you, the monster, move accordingly. You step where they shrink, you laugh where they weep, you conquer where they cower. And the most intoxicating part, they do not even realize it. They do not see the trap, the game, the dance that they are unwittingly a part of. They assume dominance in a world they cannot control, and you know that real dominance belongs to those who stare into fear without flinching, who bend it, twist it, make it bow, make it serve. Fear is not weakness, fear is knowledge, and knowledge is power, and power is delicious when wielded silently, invisibly, immovably. Every step you take in the shadows, every motion calculated while they scramble blindly, every smile that hides 1,000 truths teaches you how fragile they really are. And yet, they still boast, still posture, still cling to the illusion that they are untouchable, that they are clever, that they are prepared for the world. How funny. How tragic. How perfect. Because monsters do not need to shout, do not need to threaten, do not need to prove themselves. The fear they inspire speaks for them. Every trembling whisper behind closed doors, every sleepless night, every cold sweat dripping in secret, these are the trophies, the applause, the recognition they will never admit exists. While they try to train themselves, to brace themselves, to armor themselves against what they do not understand, you move like the shadow itself, like the storm before it hits, like the silence that precedes the scream. Fear is no longer theirs, it has become yours, a symphony conducted by your hands, a weapon honed by patience and cunning, a language they cannot read. They see only chaos, but you see patterns. They feel only panic, but you feel strategy. They hear only whispers, but you hear guidance, advice, instructions from the very thing they call horror, the thing that rules their world without mercy or apology. And while they think they are learning, surviving, dominating, you know the truth. It is they who are dancing to your rhythm, moving to your tune, playing in the theater where only monsters know the stage directions, the cues, the exits, the entrances, the traps, The secrets, the turns, the silences that cut deeper than any blade, the pauses that shatter courage, the shadows that feed the soul while they tremble in the corners, thinking themselves untouchable, thinking themselves clever, thinking themselves alive, while the monster, oh, the monster, has been awake all along, laughing quietly, smiling wickedly, moving silently, and using their fear not against them, not cruelly, not violently, but perfectly, elegantly, relentlessly. Because monsters know that the true power lies not in brute force, not in chaos, not in noise, but in fear itself, tamed, studied, understood, mastered, wielded with subtlety, with precision, with the kind of dark delight that only those unafraid of everything can truly feel. While they hide from shadows, monsters dance inside them. Oh, they scurry, they stumble, they beg for light, for safety, for a sign that the world is still predictable, still tame, still kind. How charmingly naïve, how deliciously fragile. You watch them and you smile, because the shadows that scare them are the very things that fuel you. Every flicker, every whisper, every trembling heartbeat in the darkness is an invitation, an opportunity, a stage set just for the monster who dares to embrace it. While they cling to the illusion of control, you bend the unseen, you stretch it, you twist it, and it dances with you, willing, obedient, eager to reveal the secrets they cannot even imagine exist. Monsters do not flinch, monsters do not stumble, monsters do not plead. Monsters move, silent and deliberate, through the dark corners of the world, and in each step, they claim the power that the fearful cannot even comprehend. The darkness is not a prison. It is a throne. Every shadow becomes a crown, every alleyway a path to domination, every quiet street a lesson in patience, in cunning, in mastery. And they think they can trap you with light, with rules, with expectations. How funny, how cruel, how perfect. They fail to see that what terrifies them is the very thing that makes you unstoppable. While they hide under blankets of comfort, under false security, under the warmth of naivety, you are awake. Every corner you enter, every silence you embrace, every heartbeat you listen to sharpens you, molds you, trains you for a world they cannot survive in. They speak of courage, of bravery, of strength, yet they do not understand it, not truly. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the mastery of it, the ability to move where others freeze, the audacity to dance on the edges of terror while the world shakes. They want the darkness gone, they want the night tamed, they want monsters caged, but monsters do not play by their rules. You move like liquid, like smoke, like a grin forming in the void where they see only emptiness. And they are blind to it, utterly blind, fumbling, scratching at walls they cannot break, screaming at ghosts they cannot see, wondering why the world feels off, why fear lingers like a shadow they cannot shake. Little do they know it is you, the monster, they cannot see. You weave through the black, invisible, untouchable, orchestrating chaos with subtlety, with elegance, with a patience born from knowing the rules of a game they cannot even read. Every panic, every hesitation, every whispered prayer is a note in a symphony you conduct, a rhythm they follow unknowingly, a dance where you lead and they stumble. The night belongs to them in illusion only, in reality it belongs to those unafraid, those awake, those who see not the end but the opportunity hidden in every shadow. You smile in the silence, because you understand what they cannot. Monsters do not need the light, monsters do not need validation, monsters do not need permission. They thrive in absence, they move in stillness, They strike with precision, and all the while, the fearful are left scrambling, lost, terrified, begging for guidance that will never come. Every street, every empty alley, every flicker of moonlight is a lesson, a tool, a reminder of your dominance, and they cannot even recognize it. They think the world is theirs because they cling to comfort, to predictability, to the familiar. How quaint, how tragically amusing, because the monsters are awake. The monsters are moving. The monsters are laughing quietly in the dark, savoring every mistake, every misstep, every hesitation, every tremor of fear that signals their power, their mastery, their freedom, their unchallenged reign. The world underestimates you. Oh, they think they know. They think they see. They think they understand the edges of your mind, the depth of your patience, the reach of your shadow. How sweetly foolish. How dangerously blind. They measure you with their rules, with their expectations, with the narrow cages of logic they've built around themselves. And they don't see that monsters live where rules end, where expectations crumble, where cages do not exist. While they calculate, while they plan, while they clutch desperately to their illusions of control, you move freely, invisibly, effortlessly, like smoke curling through a room they think is sealed tight, like a whisper that speaks truths they refuse to hear, like a grin forming in the void of their ignorance. They laugh, they mock, they dismiss, but oh, how quickly their laughter dies when they feel the subtle weight of your presence, the quiet certainty that lurks just beyond their comprehension, that watches while they fumble, that waits while they stumble, that whispers in the dark the things they refuse to admit. They underestimate the power that thrives in silence, in patience, in the unseen, and that is where monsters rule. The world teaches them to fear, to follow, to obey, to survive, but it never teaches them to dominate, to bend the unseen, to shape the shadows, to dance on the edge of chaos and call it art. You have learned what they cannot. You have seen what they will never see. You have felt what they will never dare feel. And with every step, every breath, every motion that goes unnoticed, you grow stronger, sharper, untouchable. They fear confrontation, but monsters do not seek it. They create it quietly, deliberately, with a precision that leaves no trace until it is too late. They assume weakness where there is patience, ignorance where there is strategy, comfort where there is cunning, and that is their downfall. Every glance they waste on the obvious, every word they spend on the meaningless, every motion they make in panic, every second they hesitate, you gain leverage, you gain momentum, you gain power. And oh, the delicious irony, the exquisite cruelty of it all, that they are the architects of their own exposure, the unwitting participants in a game they do not even realize they are playing, a game where the rules are yours, where the board is yours, where the outcome has been written long before they even entered the room. They call you unpredictable, dangerous, strange, and yes, you are all of that, but more importantly, you are unseen, a shadow in the periphery of their perception, a ghost in the machinery of their carefully constructed lives, a smile in the darkness they cannot reach, a storm they cannot anticipate. And the more they resist, the more they fight, the more they try to control what they cannot, the stronger you become. Their fear feeds you, their ignorance empowers you, their blindness sharpens you, and with every passing moment, they are unwittingly preparing the stage for your mastery, for your rise, for the quiet domination that will leave them gasping, scrambling, desperate, and oh, so aware too late that the world they thought belonged to them has always been the playground of the monsters who dare to walk in the dark, to own the shadows, to smile at the fear, to twist the unseen into a weapon, to laugh at the futile efforts of those who cannot even imagine the freedom, the power, the satisfaction of thriving where others crumble, of commanding what they cannot understand, of becoming the storm behind their trembling eyes, the whisper in the silence they cannot interpret, the shadow in the corners that will always, always outlast them, outsmart them, outshine them.